cardstock. This is 4 by 5 1/4, and I don't know if you can see, but I embossed, and I used the Stampabilities polka dot stamp. Let me go ahead and grab that. This one right here. It's the clean rubber stamp from Stampabilities, and it's the polka dot one. And what I went ahead and done is on that white piece of cardstock, I clear embossed the polka dots. I don't know if you can see that. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I have this yellow sheer ribbon, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this to my card. Let me grab some tape. That's what I forgot to grab. Okay. So I'm just going to cut a length of this just a little bit longer than the white cardstock. And I'm going to grab 2 pieces of tape and I place this on my paper. I'm going to turn it over and use the tape to attach that to the base, or I'm sorry, to the white piece that I embossed on. Make sure that it's straight. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this aside, and what I went ahead and done, I used my Cricut, and I used the Georgian Basic Shapes Cricut cartridge, and I used the flower one that's in that cartridge, and I cut 2 of those at 3.5 and 2 of them at 2, and I also cut a shadow blackout at 2, and you'll see why in a minute. But what I'm going to do is, I already went ahead and done this with 3 of them. I'm going to go ahead and grab my flour, and I'm going to spray it with some water. Okay. And I'm going to use my paper piercer, and I'm going to use this, the top of it to round the petals, just to give it a little more dimension to the card. Okay. And I went ahead and done that with the rest of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attach these. I'm just going to be using some Elmer's school glue. And I'm just going to put the glue here around the flower. And I'm going to set these off center towards each other. Okay. So I have that. And then with the small flowers, I'm going to put some glue around. And with the small flowers, what I did was I rounded all of the petals the same direction going down. So with these, I'm going to turn the flower up so the petals are actually going upwards. I'm just going to place that there in the center. Whoops. And then I'm going to add my glue. And off-center those petals. Okay. And I'm just going to use my paper piercer again to just give the petals a little more curl. And with these, I'm just going to use my finger. And this just makes the flower look more full by doing this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some mini mini glue dots. And I have a button here that I threaded with some orange embroidery floss. And I tied a bow with the embroidery floss. And I'm going to add some mini glue dots. I'm going to place this in the center of the flower, just like so. And with the shadow blackout piece that I cut out, I'm going to be using that for the back of the flower because there are those holes from the flower. And I'm just going to be using this to cover the back of the flower. I'm just going to place that directly in the back just to cover up that hole. Okay. And I'm going to take my card base and that white piece, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this with my Martha Stewart adhesive. Got some adhesive on my table. Okay. Make sure my card is the right way. And I'm going to center this on my card, just like so. And I have a piece of yellow cardstock. This is just a scrap that I'm going to use to stamp. I'm using this Inka Doo Happy Birthday stamp. And I'm going to use some Memento ink. And I stamped this on my Stamp-A-Majig so I can get it straight on. So I'm going to center this. There you go. I'm going to ink up my stamp. It's a little crooked, so I'm going to turn it around and stamp it again. Okay, that's better. I didn't use my Stamp-A-Majig. It was a little too hard. And I'm just going to round the top corners of that piece. And I'm going to use my adhesive. And I'm going to put this in the right corner and line it up with that white cardstock, just like that. And then with my flower, I'm going to go ahead and add just some dimensionals. Okay, I'm going to put my flower here and just place that down. Kind of fluff up your petals again, just to give it that dimension. And there's this week's card. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Bye!